brother!
And welcome everyone to the world's longest and most bottomless Neville Longbottom quiz.
Whoa,
Yeah.
those were good. Neville's name sets itself up nicely for a rather
does.
challenging quiz. Yeah, versus, what do we normally go with? The ultimate.
Ultimate, hardest, most difficult
Harry Potter quiz on the internet.
Harry Potter quiz on the internet.
But for real this time.
Longbottom for real this time.
Hey, brother!
That was a butt joke.
Nailed it. In case you guys are new to the J versus Ben format, this is how it is going to work. Eth Answers is on the other end of the camera. He's waving. We can see him, but you can't. He's actually very excited about it today. He is going to be reading us today's standard 10 questions, plus an additional 5 from our quiz masters over on Patreon.
Ben and I will have to answer all the questions completely from memory, but of course, if we cannot remember at all and both agree to it, Eth Answers can give us the multiple choice. There's also a link in the description down below if you'd like to play along and try and defeat us, which I doubt you can.
Oh, shots fired!
Yo, let's go. I'm feeling good today.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, man,
Just
yeah.
like mental cracks knuckles.
Coming off a big win on Through the Griffin tour, you know?
You did crush it. You did crush it.
It was very down to the wire.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. I was like in it to tie it,
You were in it to tie it.
And then I did the classic Ben Carlin, like where you're jogging along and then you trip and then your face skids across the floor in front of hundreds of people and then you explode into a smoke bomb of purple and turquoise haze.
Just like, I mean, it was weird how much smoke came out of him.
Yeah. And that it was purple.
And I mean, I would have thought green.
Same.
Yeah.
My favorite color.
Yeah, exactly.
The DC venue isn't even there anymore.
It's gone. That's so tremendous was my victory.
Yeah. We couldn't even complete the show. But people got an experience.
Let me tell you that. You can't get that at a Taylor Swift concert, probably. Eras. Where's your explosion era, Taylor?
Okay, so here's somebody on tour told me that they hate it when I put the Apple Pencil anywhere in and or around my mouth.
Yeah.
Which I think I sometimes do while I'm like thinking. I'll like poke my teeth with it. So we're on it. I heard you. Complaint registered.
Complaint registered. No more mouth.
No more
mouth.
writing utensil.
Okay.
Yes, to the teeth. Okay.
Question number 1. When we first see Neville, what has he lost?
Oh, well. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's the first question.
It's the first question. It's got to be reasonable.
Yeah.
And in fact, it is.
Yeah.
On the count of 1, 2, and 3.
The remember all. Oh my God, why did I drop
No,
that
it's his toad, Trevor.
It's Trevor. Why was I like, that's so stupid. I'm so dumb.
Oh no!
I was like, so easy. What Neville forget? It's like, it's the remember all. That was, oh my gosh. That was really.
It's all right.
That was a big whiff on my part. That is such an obvious question, and I 1000% know that. And I was just like, yeah, that's the classic thing Neville forgot.
The only problem is, I can't remember what I've forgotten.
That's gonna go down as like the remember all incident.
I know. I know.
Javer's
Look,
been
see,
lore.
it's a little bit meta because it was a forgetful thing.
It was a forgetful thing. Although I have to tell you that, like, when you turned it around, I actually know the feeling you're feeling because you said the remember all, and I was like,
I know. You're like, wait, no.
I thought it was Trevor.
I didn't give it a second thought. I was like, first question, whatever comes to you is the right answer. Okay, all right, I'm in it. I'm locked in.
All right, now we gotta watch out for Jay
Okay,
because now he's fired up. You kicked the anthill.
Ben, we need end of book 7 level Neville confidence from you, not beginning of book 1 level Neville confidence.
We got this. Just imagine you're pulling a sword out of a hat.
Question number 2. What creature hung Neville from an iron chandelier in the ceiling of the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom?
Okay.
Was always me.
Why is it always me?
It's always me.
Why is it always me?
Ready?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Yeah. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Grindy Lash.
Pixies.
Cornish pixies.
Freshly caught Cornish pixies. Indeed.
Let's see what you make of them.
You know, the thing about that scene is that he had to get them from somewhere.
Yeah.
How were they in the cage in the first place?
I mean, they must have come in the cage.
Maybe he bought them like back when he was like in Diagon Alley, and they've been in the cage the whole time, and they were like real mad.
Yeah, could be. It's
like
and
freshly
also,
caught
like,
and then imprisoned.
Freshly caught. Right, yeah, right. There's that.
I did my waiting! 12 years of it!
And then, like, Seamus is all like, well, that's not, like, they make fun of him because it's, like, not a very threatening thing, but then they are all quite threatened by them.
Right, yes.
So there is that.
I know, I try to imagine what that would be like in like a Muggle classroom where it would be like, let's see what you make of them! And like a sheet comes off and it's just like a tub of like mice. And
right.
Like, and the teacher just dumps the mice in the room, and it's
you're like, mice?
It's like, well, I'm not afraid of mice, but they are now.
They're now
everywhere.
I don't want to touch them.
Yeah, it's like, we're not getting them all back.
Tarantulas.
Yeah.
Freshly caught African tarantulas.
I would freak out.
I'd be like,
no.
Like, no, but he'd be like, here you go. Can you imagine if you went into a class and your teacher upended a tank of tarantulas?
I can't. No.
I wonder if this is the magical equivalent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet some people have clicked away from the video due to all the tarantula talk.
Well,
they're like, I don't even like to think about it.
We probably won't talk about tarantulas again for the rest of the episode.
Probably.
Yeah.
Question number 3 is our first Quizmaster question of the game. This question was submitted by Amanda B, PC, Dorian R, Angelo U, Kristen, Dumb Genius, Abby, and Rachel Fountain, and voted on by patrons. After Neville's first wand was snapped during the Battle of the Department of Mysteries, he gets his own wand. What is the new wand made of?
I knew this question was gonna be on here. Oh.
Do we need wood and core?
Wood and core, please.
Okay, I got you. You know what, though? I really have a thought about this that I will share with you after we've revealed.
I know.
Just so you know.
I know.
I'm
a struggle. All right, let's think here.
It's gonna be great when I hopefully in the future have gotten this one right, but forgot Remember All and Trevor.
I know.
Gonna be great.
Yeah. This feels wrong for a reason that bothers me. So I'm gonna.
Okay.
Oh goodness gracious,
Wow.
Ben. Okay, I don't know if this is right. I don't feel
You got
amazing
something?
about it, but I have something. I'm gonna write down over here what I had. That's just for own personal scorekeeping. All right, ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Cherry and unicorn hair.
Oh, it is cherry.
It is cherry and unicorn hair, yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
take that. I really had to clog back in because this is the samurai.
We made the samurai,
The samurai with
video.
the cherry blossoms.
Neville is a samurai.
Samurai. That's why I knew this one. But you know what? You know what I would have loved? Because
that?
in the entire series, you only know of 2 people who have Phoenix Core wands, which is Harry and Voldemort.
Oh.
Would have loved if Neville also had a Phoenix
That
wand
is
as the other chosen one.
so good.
That would have been so much better.
Yeah, because it would have almost been like, it would have been like,
there it is,
see?
right?
Yep,
See?
there it is.
Like, and it would have been proof that actually he does make other wands.
Right,
You know?
right.
Like sometimes other people have them.
Right. It would even be wild because he doesn't get it until after the Department of Mysteries. So you could have already had Goblet of Fire and like the twin cores happen, and Fox already could have only given 2.
Right.
But then it could have been the case like during year 5, Fox dropped another feather. that
Oh
was
my
sent
god,
off.
like at the battle.
Right, yeah, because it was like, yeah.
That would have been so good.
Like a third is
That would have
needed.
been good. Or if it was just any other Phoenix feather, that would have been. I think Neville should have had a Phoenix one. That
Man.
would have, just because only 2 people have them,
Dang.
and Neville is definitely the candidate for it. So whatever.
You're not wrong. I do really like unicorn though, because like unicorn's the whole like we don't trust men thing. Like
yeah.
you know they don't go up to the boys or whatever. But like Neville and I think Cedric also have unicorn hair wands.
Yeah, Ron does too.
Ron
Does
does
he?
too.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're just like good people.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Just good people.
Difficult to corrupt, I think, is what they
Yeah.
say the unicorn wands are.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. The least likely to turn to the dark arts.
Like I think it's just a nice little like pure of heart.
It is.
Not that Harry's impure. I mean, obviously Harry has the wand that he has for a reason.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
But no, I like that. And
'Cause
Cherry's
he's
like
famous.
I don't know if Cherrywood's red, but like I think of cherries when I think of red, and that's Gryffindor. And like
Right.
he's a true Gryffindor, you know,
He is.
And a
The
samurai.
Griffin. And a samurai.
and a samurai.
Yeah.
I have not seen this video.
It's a wild one.
I'm gonna have to go check it out. In the meantime, question number 4: through whose painting did Neville travel to get the trio in the Hogshead before the Battle of Hogwarts?
Oh, this is a good one.
That is a good one. I was like, oh god, Sir Duggan.
Oh, that your arch nemesis.
Fat lady.
Your arch nemesis, Sir Cadogan.
Yeah,
Sir Cadogan.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
like one of those names. It's like I always end up forgetting it.
He's the Knight of the Round Table.
Is he?
I mean, in fiction, I don't know if he is in real life, but he is in fiction.
Oh,
like,
I
in
didn't-
Harry Potter, yeah.
I didn't realize that.
In Harry Potter, he has like this tiny pony and he goes and fights a dragon and somehow comes out victorious. Yeah, something like that.
Fights a dragon.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Hogwarts? Hogwarts is a dragon?
Hogwarts is a dragon.
He may be a real guy then, that is like actually part of the Knights of the Round Table.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right.
All right,
All right, you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Ariana Dumbledore.
Ariana Dumbledore.
It is Ariana Dumbledore.
It sure is, yo.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, whoever was the actress that they portrayed Ariana Dumbledore for, that is like, they are getting some serious scream time out of us. Scream?
Yeah.
Scream. Did I say scream time?
Yeah.
Scream time.
Ariana Dumbledore! But like, that image, especially going through like the Fantastic Beasts saga
Yeah.
and the importance of like her potential obscurus situation for a while there.
Confirmed.
Yeah, confirmed. We used that image so much. But that was the type of thing where like someone must have come in for one day and just was like filmed
Yeah,
standing in
right.
front of the green screen.
They
and,
had like
Yeah.
20 seconds of
Yeah,
like,
on screen for like
on-screen
84
time.
frames.
right, yeah.
Not on SCB.
A lot.
A lot. Question number 5. What did Neville break when he fell off his broom during his first flying lesson?
Oh.
His remember all.
He broke his toad.
His pride.
His pride.
His pride.
But problem. That was already broken.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Wrist.
Wrist.
Wrist was correct.
Ba-boom!
Did you underline it as well?
Yeah, I run. Wrist.
Wrist. Wrist.
Yeah. That's a broken wrist.
Wrist.
I love how in the movie she's like, Longbottom, put that broom back on the ground this instant. And it's like, clearly he can't control it.
You know what I hate about that scene though is the fact that like the broom is like bucking and stuff, and
Yeah.
I feel like it's supposed to be like a setup for like Harry's broom bucking later, as
Uh-huh.
if like somebody was like magically.
Oh.
You
like
know,
someone
like-
was cursing his broomstick?
Yes, yeah.
Oh.
Like the way that they're like both things happen, like he's like swishing back and forth, and so you're just like, brooms do that sometimes.
Brooms
like,
do that.
And then there's the scene with Fred and George who are like, you know, don't worry, they always turn up in a week or two.
Yeah.
You know, like they're doing all this stuff around Quidditch. So if you, the movie viewer, go in and you're just sort of like, oh yeah, brooms be like that sometimes.
Brooms
It's
do like that.
It's like, no. Somebody was acting on Harry's. Neville's situation was completely different.
Right. If only. If only.
I know a spell when I see one.
Yeah. And Snape wasn't blinking.
Question number 6 is our second Quizmaster question of the game. Submitted by Dumbledore Jr. and voted on by patrons.
I put in DJ.
Yeah, me too.
As Dumbledore Sr. intended it.
Yes.
Who does Neville take to the Yule Ball in his 4th year?
Yeah, only one person submitted this one?
I'm surprised. This is a fun one.
Yeah, this is a good one. This is a good one.
Yeah.
I wonder if people ship this.
I don't know.
Feels like they probably do.
I feel like if you're not gonna, I can. Oh, I'll explain. All right.
Yeah.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Geneva.
It is Ginevra Weasley.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I feel like if you are pro Hermione, I could see a world where you ship Neville and Ginny.
Ninny?
Ninny.
Is
Although-
Minnie the ship name?
Although I do
Or is it Glongbottom?
Longbottom. I do always really like Neville and Luna though. Like I
Yeah,
thought that was
I
something.
know.
Oh, I put it in my mouth. I did. I'm sorry. I did it. I
ding.
couldn't help it. I was trying to avoid it. Ethan said it would happen.
And it did.
I tried to ingrain.
Probably
it
won't be
into
the
my
last
brain.
time.
I know it probably won't be the last time. But yeah, if you're Harry and Hermione together, then I could see a world where Neville and Ginny. But also, I like Neville and Luna. That's one thing I feel like the movies. You know, it's like they do seem like out of the group.
I don't mind Neville and Ginny because then I also like Ron and Luna.
Ah, good
Yeah,
point. Good point. Yeah.
for sure.
So then, out of like the six,
The six,
it's
we
sort
just
of
mixed
like
it up some.
everybody's pairing off.
Yeah, everyone's pairing off a little bit.
That's yeah. All right.
Seems right. But in ways you didn't expect.
In ways you didn't expect.
Yeah. Unless you were expecting Harry and Hermione, and I think a lot of people were.
Yeah.
But,
Well, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Complain about it and write fan fiction for like the next 15 years?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Everyone,
That's what that's what they're gonna do.
I hope we sold so many people on Ron and Luna.
Red Moon.
Red Moon. What if Harry was in Slytherin? Inevitable. You know?
It's better than Runa, for sure.
Red Moon is for sure better. Or Lon.
Lawn.
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 Oh boy.
Question number 7. In his first divination class, how many teacups did Neville break?
Oh man. This is kind of a silly one because she's like, choose this one. I like the pink ones. It's like, can't you just repair them? What difference does it make?
I know.
Yeah. This is also like, you never see Trelawney doing any other like magic other than like serving the crystal balls as like tennis racket style.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that if you were like, can't you just repair them? She'd be like, no!
Yeah.
The magic is gone from the teacups.
Right, yes.
They were what they were, but now they are not what they're not.
Fortune tells me not to do it, I'm afraid. Like a convenient.
Hey, yeah.
Convenient, however, whenever you need to do magic, the future has told you not to.
Right. Good excuse for like everything.
Everything. It's kind of her. It's kind of her shtick.
Yeah.
You start using that.
Yeah.
I'd do it, but the stars. They say
The stars tell me not to.
They say
Sorry,
not to,
guys.
yeah.
I'm taking off Friday.
Yeah.
The stars.
The stars. Yeah, what
guys.
are you gonna do?
Can't help it.
They're doing what they're doing. And
Mars is bright.
Mercury's in retrograde, maybe, probably, possibly.
Saturn.
Yeah.
Something about Saturn.
Something about Saturn.
Sounds like a country song.
Something about Saturn. It would be about like a car though.
No, it would be about a guy who his wife left him because of astrology.
Yeah.
And he's sitting on the dock drinking beer.
Yeah, right.
So he's like, what'd she say? What'd she say before she left, man? Something about Saturn.
That sounds about right.
There's probably also like a rings joke to be made in there.
Yeah, right.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. She wanted a ring or something.
Right.
Yeah. It's got to be something.
Something about.
Something up there rhymes with beer, I'm sure.
If Mercury's in retrograde, I don't think you and I were made for each other.
We're halfway there, guys. We can
We're
do
doing
this.
it. You're doing it. Tune into the Super Carlin Brothers pop band coming to a
country band.
Coming to a.
We got both
near
kinds
you.
of music here, country and western.
That's right.
All right, how many teacups?
Oh yeah, that was still a question. I was like, you didn't know the question?
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
It's 2.
2.
It is 2.
Boom!
A pink one and a blue one.
The first one and the second one.
Regular 2.
Regular 2.
Yeah, the first one and the second one.
Nice.
Question number 8. What spell did Ginny use to clean up the Stinksap from Neville's Mimbulus Mimbletonia?
Oh, come on. This is a Ginny question, okay?
Yeah.
At best.
real.
What?
I feel like you would have been equally annoyed if that showed up on the Ginny quiz.
Maybe like, that's a Neville question if I ever heard it. His Mimbulus Mimbletonia.
Do you think more people? This is all just to make Harry look bad in front of Cho. Which, like, how many people are shipping just Harry and Cho long term? You know?
I know. Yeah. Honestly, I just don't feel like they got
Jerry.
Jerry. I don't feel like they
not
got
the other one.
Yeah, I almost said that out loud.
Oh man.
Oh, you have to put a timer over in my head on how long it took me to get there. I have a guess.
I mean, I have a guess. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Ready.
I guess.
All right.
There's a sound in my head that I feel like is there that it isn't this.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, okay. All right. Hang on. This is.
What is this word?
Bombarda.
It's bombarded. She just blows up the cabin.
There's a reason that I think this answer is correct, but then something like this is also coming to mind. But I'm gonna go with my first guess. All right, I have an answer. The one that's circled is my answer. The one below it is what I thought was the other guess.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Ready.
3, 2, 1.
It's Scourgify.
It is Scourgify, yeah.
Oh, what? No way! I was like, this is just a guess.
Man.
Evanesca. Yeah, that's also a great
Evanesca.
guess.
Scourgio, not even a spell.
I don't know, but Jay spelled it exactly correctly.
Boom!
So,
Boom!
Man,
my hands are tied.
that really hurts. That's...
We started bad, guys. Now we're cooking.
This is the part of the show people just wait on with me. They're like, just wait. He'll ruin it for himself.
J-Fan was out there ripping scarves off the wall and taking down posters. And
I'll tell you what, I'm out of here.
All right, see ya.
Hello and welcome everybody, as ever, to the Scenic Route, where we need to give a huge thank you to today's sponsor, MeUndies.
Yo, for most of the year, we don't have to give a lot of consideration to, you know, fancy underwear technology, but then summer hits.
And all of a sudden, having breathable, quick dry, moisture wicking underwear makes all the difference. And I literally wore MeUndies for an entire marathon for this exact reason. 26.2 miles in the blistering heat of the day, uphill both ways. Okay, well, not really, but there were some hills and I was comfortable, or well, actually no, I was in agony, but not because of the underpants. The point is, MeUndies' signature micromodal fabric is breathable, stretchy, and oh so comfy, making it ideal for all-day wear. Plus, with their problem-free philosophy, if you are somehow unhappy with your first pair, then it's actually on them. Y'all, summer is coming, or just, you know, here, and you can get 20% off your first order plus free shipping when you head on over to MeUndies.com/brother. That is going to be MeUndies.com/brother for 20% off your first order plus free shipping. MeUndies.com/brother. Link in the description down below.
Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome to the Scenic Table, where, as always, we need to give a huge thank you to today's sponsor, Arena Club. Y'all, I'll never forget being 11 years old in 1999. I had to undergo surgery, and as a reward for my immense bravery, my parents bought me my first ever Pokemon cards, and I've been pretty much hooked ever since. And like, back then, just finding packs at the store was an upheaval, let alone getting mom and dad to agree to then buy the pack. But like, nowadays, collecting has evolved a lot. And part of that is thanks to Arena Club, the whole new way to buy and sell and trade cards on the internet. What Arena Club offers is what's called a slab pack, which are cards that have undergone a process called grading to determine their quality, and then you digitally purchase a pack from a known pool of potential cards, crack it open right there on screen. I mean, look, you can just watch our latest opening. What is it? Oh my god, dude, it is literally the one we tried to open for earlier this week.
That is so crazy.
You guys.
Hang on, yeah.
Like, we have it, right, we opened this, we had it in the office, and we were like, you know what? We never pulled the Blastoise. Let's just open it and see. Ironically, we pulled the Charizard version of this, but holy cow, I could not believe we pulled that.
That's the
second Blastoise we pulled. We got a Blastoise last time. So you open the card digitally, but then you can request to get them mailed to you right away if you want to physically own in person. I mean, check this out. These are the other ones we have opened from Arena Club, including another Blastoise from base set. Like, oh, I was so excited when we pulled this. But you don't have to have them sent to you. You can also just leave that card in your digital showroom where people can then like purchase it from you or just offer up trades. Not that I would ever trade this beauty. I mean, this is like, And right now, you can get 10% off your first purchase by going to arenaclub.com/jverseb. That's arenaclub.com/jverseb for 10% off your first purchase. Link is in the description down below.
I'm back.
All right, how you doing? You feel recovered?
No, I'm nervous.
Okay.
I feel worried.
A nervous Neville?
A nervous Neville. A nervous Neville. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't feel good about it. I thought I was doing so well.
I mean, you started out great. You had Trevor right there.
If anything, I think more you started out poorly.
That's true.
Then I started out well.
Yeah. I could be doing better even.
Right.
Had I thought about it, maybe for 1 second more.
Well, good news, man. It's time for question number 9, which is the third Quizmaster question of the game. This question was submitted by Emerald Phoenix and voted on by patrons. Which subject did Neville's grandmother not want him to take at NEWT level?
Ah, good question, Emerald.
Great. Dude, we saw Emerald on through the Griffin tour.
We did!
It was like it was great because it was in DC, and we just sort of called someone out of the back of the room, out of the darkness. Couldn't even see him, and they walked up, and we were like, "It's Emerald! What are the odds?"
I know, it's pretty cool.
It's pretty great, but he's on the Patreon calls.
Yeah. Google Hangouts.
Google Hangouts.
Well, do we call them Google Hangouts anymore?
That's a Zoom call,
It's
actually.
a Zoom call.
Yeah.
Available on Patreon if you want to check it out.
Yeah.
Come chat with us for like 2 hours once a month. It's fun.
It is fun.
I think Google Hangouts doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, so it's definitely not Google Hangouts.
not that,
It's a
yeah.
Zoom call, but we
Yeah.
still sort of refer to it that way. You know, old habits.
We call it a hangout.
Right. A
That's
hang.
what we're doing.
Do you guys think that Emerald Phoenix is the phoenix which gave its feather for Neville's wand?
That'd be great if Neville's like phoenix feather was green instead of gold.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
There was a second
like
phoenix. Just one other phoenix.
and it was green.
It was green!
Yeah. You just see
Oh, look at this!
Ollivander's like, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not talking about that, are we? Instead, we're talking
No.
about this other subject.
Yeah. Right?
That Augustus thinks is a soft
A
choice.
soft option.
Yeah. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Charms.
Charms.
It is charmed.
It is charms. Yeah.
His grandmother's name is Augustus.
Yeah. I believe so.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Something like something in that vein.
Augusta.
Oh,
Augusta.
yeah. I was going to say, Augustus is a man's name.
Yeah. Well, you know.
That would explain a lot of things.
Here I am. Look, I think this is how life works if you're one Ben Carlin, is that like your brain knows things well enough to where like, you know, if you're having a conversation in a professional environment, you're behind closed doors and it's like a meeting time, you're like, it's Scourgio, and somebody like Scourgify, but Scourgify, like I was saying.
Right.
You know, and it's like
Right.
you got close enough to where anybody in any normal context is gonna be able to like nudge
Like,
you back
yeah.
on the path.
They would even probably be like, "Oh, it's a good memory."
Yeah, exactly.
Really close.
Yeah.
Not in this game.
Not
in this game, it's like
no
one
way.
embarrassment.
Right, right.
How close, but not there.
Right.
All those
0
meetings we
points.
have where we discuss cleansing spells.
Yes. So weekly.
Weekly.
Our meetings go to some weird places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, every week on my calendar I have a "Do you remember this spell from Harry Potter?" meeting.
We review it just in case.
Just in case.
Question number 10. What did, in parentheses, fake Professor Moody make Neville do while under the Imperius Curse during a Defense Against the Dark Arts class with him?
I think
Is it this
I
word
feel like
or
the
is it this word?
I want to say the phrasing of this, like, is interesting. I feel like I picture something in my head. I think these are the words used to describe it, but this could be another one of those situations where it's like, you should have just gone with what you thought. But I remember it.
Okay.
Ready?
Are you ready?
All right, 3, 2, 1.
I just said gymnastics.
Yeah, impressive gymnastics.
It is gymnastics!
Yeah!
Gymnastics!
I was like, wait, does he say gymnastics or acrobatics? And I'm like, kind of amount. I mean, I'm sure they're not the same thing, but
Gymnastics is like interesting to me because I don't think of gymnastics as like an action so much as like a
skill set.
genre.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so it's like you wouldn't be like, I went in swimming pooled.
I always imagine he was doing like back handsprings and stuff.
Yes,
The
I
best.
agree. Yeah, like or cartwheels or something.
I swimming pooled.
I swimming
I
pools.
swam.
Yeah.
What did you guys do today? We just like gymnasticked.
Yeah, we did
We
gymnastics.
gymnastied, man.
Yeah.
That was just to see what Ethan would do.
Gymnastied.
Yeah.
Sounds like a
Sounds like a DJ.
gymnastied sounds like a slang term for some type of like fungal growth.
Oh man,
In a
that's
locker room.
gymnasty.
That's gymnastic.
That's gymnasty right there.
It's that moment where you see somebody do a trick and you make that face of like, oh,
Oh.
that was gymnasty, bro.
Gymnasty.
Okay, I like that better. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like yeah, you're right because there is that face where it's like,
How did you do that? Question number 11. Who was Neville partnered with during the first meeting of Dumbledore's army to practice Expelliarmus?
Oh, who indeed? Who indeed was he partnered with?
I believe
I believe.
in a thing called.
believe.
Like we went in two different directions.
We did. You went for like the pop song, and I went for the Broadway show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two very high-pitched songs.
No doubt.
There we go. Maybe believing things is inherently high pitched.
Neither of us went for like the Ted Lasso, just like
Believe.
yeah, like
We do have a Believe poster exiting our office, and all of us do tap it every day.
we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I have one on my stairs at home.
There you
Do you
go.
tap it every day?
Yeah,
Oh, just for luck.
Because
Yeah.
I believe.
as I believe.
I believe.
More important, I think the ghosts should believe in themselves.
Do you believe in ghosts, Ted? All right, got an answer?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Harry.
Harry.
It is Harry.
I believe ghosts should believe in themselves. Well, you guys gotta watch Ted Lasso. If and you haven't.
If you're here and you haven't watched Ted Lasso, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
So if you like this show, you'll love that show.
Yeah.
It's got like way more mustache.
I don't know.
Well,
I actually don't think it does.
I mean, where it counts, you know?
Oh.
Yeah.
Sure.
The real mustache was the friends we made along the way.
That's yeah.
Speaking of friends, it's time for the fourth Quizmaster question of the game. This question was submitted by Terry and voted on by patrons. What password did Neville forget when Harry, Ron, and Hermione were going to the Midnight Duel?
Oh, why is there always a password question, Ben? Who was this thing? Who was this by?
Terry. Maybe Terry Boot.
Going to
The Midnight Duel.
The Midnight Duel. So it's then, and it's, I think this.
Oh no. Okay, think.
You should put the pen in your mouth and see if that helps.
Yeah, man.
I know.
You should put the pen through your glasses lens that isn't there.
Don't do it, Ben. He's thinking about it.
Think.
I think this is it, but I could be quite wrong. I could be quite wrong.
Quite wrong. There's something that's like tickling my brain.
Yeah.
You know, it's up there.
Right there.
It's
like a tarantula or something?
Like a tarantula.
Yeah,
like an African tarantula.
Let's see what you make of them.
I promised the listeners, the readers, the watchers, whatever we call them, the viewers, that's the word I'm looking for, that we would not bring up tarantulas again.
But you said it in a way that's like, we're definitely gonna.
We're definitely, yeah,
So,
we're not going to bring
You're
up.
embarrassing me in front of my friends!
Okay. Hang on. Not that.
Not that.
Not that.
Do you remember the second year first one?
No!
It came up twice on the tour.
I'm so bad at passwords.
I know.
I would never get into clubs or secret tree houses
Speakeasies.
or speakeasies.
Yeah.
No, I think if we literally forced you to remember a thing in order to gain entry to a place you wanted to go, you'd remember it.
Yeah.
Probably.
This is trivia.
We went to a speakeasy once in Asheville, North Carolina, where when you ordered a drink, they handed you a key, and you could take that key to a letterbox on the other side of the room and open it, and it would have a free snack. By free, I mean you probably just paid for it with the drink, but it felt really exciting to be like, what mystery snack am I going to get with this?
I
And it'd be
know.
like, oh, a cup of olives, all right.
Yay!
Oh, man. Or someone would be like, I don't like olives. Does anyone want these?
Yeah, I'd be
And
so
I'd be
bummed.
like, yes!
If I opened a letterbox and it was full of olives, I'd be so bummed.
Oh, yeah. He'd be like, can I get another key? But, like, the novelty of that, like, it was so fun. So
It was really fun.
if you've been there. You know.
If you've been there, yeah. All right, I have an answer. I don't think it's right.
Okay.
Because I know why it's not right, but I
Okay.
can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Pig snout.
It is pig snout.
Yes! Oh, it's pig snout. Oh, of course it is, man.
Of course it is. Pig snout. Man, that's not even what was tickling my brain. Isn't there
No.
another Latin?
Besides Caput Draconis.
Yes.
Nimbulus and Boltonia.
No, that's the one Neville will be able to remember
no.
because
But it's definitely Latin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's year 5.
Yeah.
There's something else, and I kept getting
Fortuna
like,
Major.
Fortuna Major.
Yeah, it's also like a plant, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe.
or a
A
constellation.
constellation.
Yeah, because Caput Draconis is like what started us on the whole Hogwarts as a dragon situation, because it means head of the dragon.
dragon.
And it's like, if this is like Gryffindor Tower, then why would its password be head of the dragon unless
it
at one
used to
point
be
in
a
time,
dragon.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is
And
where the brains are.
This is where the brains are.
You should tell them about the cool pin we made.
We do have a really cool pin that is a dragon in Hogwarts at the same
Hogwarts.
time.
Yeah, it's a dragon halfway transformed into Hogwarts.
Yeah. You can get them on tour.
Yeah.
Question number 13. What grade did Neville receive on his Transfiguration O.W.L. exam? You can't have multiple choice on this one.
It's just the grades.
It's just the grades.
Yeah.
The teacup one, I was like, the multiple choice answers are the numbers between 1 and 4.
Yeah, right. It's like,
Pick one.
Not 28.
28 teacups!
Maybe if you like knocked over the whole shelf or something, you know.
Neville, dear, please, for the love of God, leave the class.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm scrolling. I'm like crashing and burning, guys.
no.
Today, this
Oh,
is
no.
just like a plane plummeting clean out of the sky.
I mean, you can just guess one of the grades,
I touched
right?
my mouth again.
Yeah. I've
you
got it
saw
on lock,
Yeah.
Got
Dang it! Pencil. Why do you do this to me?
Maybe this is the one where one of us finally has like a clear pull ahead moment.
I know.
Because I feel like all year it has been real neck and neck. Real close.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Acceptable.
Acceptable is correct!
Boom!
Woo, okay, I had exceeds expectations, but then I remembered that I think what does Harry get? Because I feel like
He gets exceeds expectations.
Okay, because I feel like McGonagall is like, I was very pleased indeed.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
you know, and it's like, okay.
Right.
And then I was like, wait, no, she can't possibly be talking to Neville here. But then I was like, but Neville really comes out of his shell in Order of the Phoenix, but I bet not with McGonagall.
No, because this is what leads to the entire, like, why don't you take charms? I see you got an exceeds expectation there. And he's like, my grandma says charms is a soft option.
Take charms,
Neville. I shall have a word with your grandmother.
Augusta, not Augustus.
They do a great job as well in the series of like making you feel like Transfiguration is the hardest one.
Yeah.
Of like the magics at least.
Of the magics.
I think of, I don't know, I don't even know what I think of that. Sometimes I like associate it with like math. Like it feels like math subject.
Maybe.
That's
They do have like
arithmancy.
arithmancy.
Well, no, yes, I mean.
That's wizard's math.
That's wizard's math. I'm just trying to think of like what other school subject Transfiguration seems like it would like align with, like science,
Like
maybe
physics.
Physics.
Turned this into
Yeah.
that. Alchemy. That's also not. But
You don't take alchemy.
I don't take alchemy, which seems weird.
It does seem
It's
weird.
like there's clearly like they know the answer. You know?
There is
There's
the
an
goal of
answer.
alchemy was
I
to
guess
create the
Dumbledore
Philosopher's
doesn't
Stone.
feel like the Philosopher's Stone is worth making, though.
True.
Maybe he doesn't want people knowing how.
Well, so the thing is, like, you know, in the beginning they learn Wingardium Leviosa and Charms, and like everybody can do it except for Ron because he can't figure out how to swish and flick right, and then he figures it out and he just stops trolling whatever. But from the beginning of Transfiguration, they're like, "This is hard.
Yeah.
You gotta turn this.
Like,
you gotta turn this match into a mouse."
Right? And like at no point is Harry making use of Transfiguration.
Yeah, not really.
Not really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think at one point he like makes like under Felix Felicis like refills the container or something, or like conjures a bottle, which I guess is kind of transfig. I've always attributed that to a Transfiguration spell, but I don't even know what that would fall
It
under.
could be like a refilling charm.
Yeah, refilling charm or
Or
like
replenishing.
Yeah, replenishing. Yeah,
I believe D&D 5e rules state that is part of transmutation. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well,
You are transfiguring the empty bottle into a full bottle.
right. Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah, I can transfigure this full bottle into an empty bottle too, pretty easily.
I'm great at magic.
Another.
They come in bites.
Watch how fast I can transfigure this car into a ticket. Question number 14. What detention did Snape give Neville in his 4th year for melting 6 cauldrons in potions class?
What? I do not even remember this.
Melting 6 cauldrons in potions
Melting
class.
6? What did he do?
He's bad at potions.
Yeah, but was he just like, guys, I think I figured it out?
Here, everybody add my secret ingredient.
Neville has
yeah.
a random spurt of confidence that goes horribly wrong.
Yeah, potions is obviously, like, harder than these other classes, but, like, we could do potions.
If we had a wand.
We had wands.
Yeah.
You need a wand to do potions?
Most
think so.
potions, yeah, it's not just like, why can't muggles do potions? It's like, because there is wand work.
There's wand work.
I don't feel like that's ever been adequately explained.
Yeah.
Well, that is a difference.
You're not
you
wrong.
do need to add magic at parts.
I would go multiple choice.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
So this is the Unforgivable Curses chapter. For what it's worth.
Okay.
Okay, man.
It does not look like it is plot relevant.
Okay.
But it just says, the next 2 days passed without great incident, unless you counted Neville melting his 6th cauldron in potions.
Oh, okay.
So it sounds like it's happened over the course of the year, and not just over the course of one particularly nasty potions
I was
lesson.
like, how could he do 6 at once?
I kept thinking of like the scene in Chamber where they throw like the filibuster's firework or something, or like it's like something gets splattered all over everybody.
Okay, all right. Well, what's the multiple choice?
A is disemboweling a barrel full of horned toads. B, polishing trophies. C, cleaning hospital wing bedpans. Or D, lines.
Whenever, so the thing, we were doing this on tour, and like sometimes we'll sit here and just like think for a second, and the audience will start Jeopardy musicking us, and it'll be like, oh no, we have an absolute end spot.
Yeah, no.
You're doing it to yourself.
Yeah.
Did it help?
No, not really.
Remember? All you have to do is guess.
I know. I'm torn. I'm
Okay.
torn between two.
I mean, I wavered for like a second, and then I was like, probably this one.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
I said disemboweling the toads.
I said disemboweling the toads.
It is disemboweling the toads.
Yeah, it is. I thought it was something like exceptionally gross. Like that's what was like tickling my brain like a tarantula right there. And it turned out it was right.
Professor Snape, who seemed to have attained new levels of vindictiveness over the summer, gave Neville detention, and Neville returned from it in a state of nervous collapse, having been made to disembowel a barrel full of horned toads.
A barrel!
It's so many!
It's way too many. I don't know how big horned toads are.
Why,
you know?
What is like Snape like receiving that order?
Right, yeah, it's like
and this is the barrel of horned toads.
I mean, I know that horned toads are typically described as great.
Great.
So they might be rather large.
Rather large.
Okay.
Even so.
I like a world where like Snape secretly actually has like all of his headquarters down like the dungeons area, because it's also where the loading dock is.
Yeah, right.
It's just like Snape's out there like waving like the truck driver and like,
got, like the orange
beep,
vest.
Beep,
Yeah.
beep, stop.
Back it up. Right there.
Classic Snape.
Classic Snape.
That guy can direct traffic.
He's just logistics, man.
He is.
out
Yeah, I like the blaze orange, like
Yeah, absolutely.
reflective
He's got the
and-
hard hat on.
Right. Yeah.
Safety bashed.
Potter.
Potter. You're not driving safely, Potter.
Are you even forklift certified?
Fix that seatbelt, Potter.
Oh man, Snape would be OSHA compliant.
Absolutely.
Always.
Oh.
Question number 15 is our fifth and final Quizmaster question of the game. This question was submitted by Geekbox and Dumb Genius and voted on by patrons. What 3 items did Neville buy to supposedly protect himself from the Basilisk?
Okay.
Before he remembered that he was pureblood and probably wouldn't be targeted anyway. Okay. What does he buy? Do you remember them?
I don't know. I feel like it's like something like this. I feel like I'm close. I don't know if I'm correct.
I feel like I am close as well, but yes, am I correct? I'm in the zip code.
In the zip code.
I'm in the zip code,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm looking for the right mailbox, but
I've turned the volume down on the music so I can
Right.
better read the signs.
I feel like if I put this in someone's mailbox, they'd be like, they gave it to the wrong person, but I'll get it to them.
But it's not that hard because I see what happened.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I feel like if you
right
put
there.
this in somebody's mailbox, they'd be very confused.
This collection of items.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean-
yes.
Yeah.
None of it is mail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
I said a green onion, a shrunken head, and an amulet.
So,
What'd you say?
I said a newt's tail, a green onion, and a purple turnip.
Okay.
it's a purple crystal.
Ah.
But other than that, you're correct, Ben.
Wow.
Really? The
It
newt's
is
tail?
an evil-smelling green onion, a pointed purple crystal, and a rotting newt tail.
Rotting newt tail. Man. That's crazy. You were very close. I
Fudge.
got green onion.
You got green onion, the shrunken head. No, that was on the night bus.
Well,
Where's he gonna get one?
Right, well, I don't know.
Take it away, Neville!
Harry does claim to be Neville on that particular occasion. So
right,
it wouldn't even be a completely unusual thing for him to say.
Neville just pulls it out of the box.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Where's
can you imagine Neville seeing the basilisk just holding up a shrunken head? Oh, that's a basilisk man. And then that would be. I mean, would that kill him or?
Would that kill a shrunken head?
Shrunken head?
I don't know enough about how.
Why is the shrunken
works.
head alive at all? It feels like where's his body?
I'm sure he wants to know.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
I want to say that was a J win.
That was a J win.
Yeah,
How bad?
13-11.
Man,
Okay,
I
so only
almost
2 points.
I almost got a point back there, and I would still also say that Scourgio versus Scourgify was like
Pretty close.
I mean, if he hadn't spelled it dead on.
Man.
If Jay had been like, yeah, I wrote down, Evanesco, then I might have given it to you, but he spelled it perfectly.
Is that also not a spell that people
It is.
use to disappear things?
I think Snape uses it to clear potions.
Okay. And now we need to give a huge thank you to these Quizmasters who support us over on Patreon.
Big shout out to Amanda B, PC, Dorian R, Angelo U, Kristen Dumb Genius, Abby, Rachel Fountain, Dumbledore Jr., Emerald Phoenix, Terry, and Geekbox, and of course, voted on by patrons.
As per always, if you'd like to try to stump us in a future episode of Jay vs. Ben, you can do so by heading on over to patreon.com/SuperCarlinBrothers and selecting the Quizmasters tier.
Thanks again to all of our Quizmasters over on Patreon.
As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
If you want to see how Neville is actually a samurai, you can check out this video right here. Ben might want to do the same. But otherwise, until next time, bye!